Hey, I'm Shelby.
And I'm Courtney,
We're exploring our past
looking forward to our future.
and living for the present
Oh,
while learning
how to live.
magically.
I almost chimed in there. Sorry.
I would have liked it.
Yeah, I
We have, a,
almost did, but
we have a new intro sound, Kyle. Have you heard it?
I have. It's great.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Of
He's
course you
such
have.
a liar.
Yes, I have, Shelby. Don't call me out like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure AJ doesn't know what it sounds like. I don't know if I could repeat it on the spot. And I listen to it every week, but just wondering. Um, Today we have a legendary guest with us, which I kind of just like blew the lead by speaking through the third wall or whatever it is to him. But um this guest is Shelby's right-hand man. He is the crown jewel in the massively expanding Bet Fanatics empire, and he is Brooks's personal golf trainer. We would like to welcome Kyle Remillard to the podcast.
I felt like that intro was very Jason Kelsey, Taylor Swift-esque. So well done.
That is
that was really
all
good.
I'm going for in life. I
Yeah.
want to shotgun beers and introduce guests like
That
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah,
that's
that was great.
literally her goal. She literally told me what she was gonna say and just said, "I'm auditioning to be Jason Kelsey." So you just made her day.
Nice.
I feel I
I
feel
did not
seen.
expect any of that. So I was shook, but that was great. Thank you.
Well, it's all true. So,
Settle down.
we're so excited that you're here. And we have 1 million things we want to talk to you about. But today, for the purposes of this podcast, we're going to talk about your first, but maybe not only, game show experience on the floor.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to talk about it. I feel like I have so much that I've wanted to say for so long, so I'm excited. Also, to set the record straight, I would love to come on the pod anytime. Shelby doesn't allow it, so future
Uh,
reference.
what?
I'm willing and able anytime, and hopefully become a regular guest one day.
Okay.
That is a stunning revelation. And never been happier to know that because the
What would
people have
you?
questions.
Well, it's
What would you like to talk?
not my first appearance here. AJ and I were on. Don't forget.
Yeah.
You
One of our
know,
highest rated episodes.
the OG listeners, they know,
They
like
know.
way back when.
Real ones know.
Yeah. And also, if we did that episode again, my trivia now compared to then, tenfold.
That's what
Like,
I'm
not
saying.
even, yeah.
We've all changed. Plus,
That was
you,
like early Disney days for me, Shelby.
The
yeah,
only trivia you could now really be good at would be like about the Cars movie.
Fair. Yeah. There's not much I can miss on that.
no, I remember, maybe I'm misquoting, but I feel like I heard rumors on your recent like big family trip down here that you at points were like the travel director, like this ride is over here and this bathroom is over here.
You heard right. You definitely heard
That's
right. Yep. Not
honestly,
gonna, don't want to boast too much, but yeah, I know the parks. I know where the key areas are, the key rides, and so there's improvements being made. Still a lot of progress to go, but over time we'll get there.
that's something. I mean, just last week, AJ and I were at Animal Kingdom and he was like, "Where is Dinosaur?" And I was like, "You need to go home."
Oh, yeah, I
So,
know that one.
see?
There you go.
Not for long.
Animal Kingdom's my least comfortable on the knowledge scale of
It's
where
a,
to get to places, but
it's the biggest park. So,
yeah, fair. Makes me feel better.
Well,
yeah.
that's a stretch, but yes,
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah, by square footage.
fair.
Okay.
Let's preface this. There are going to be spoilers about the floor right here, right now. And if you would like to watch it before listening, it's on Hulu or Disney Plus, and we're talking particularly about season 4. And you will see Kyle on episode 3.
I feel like, yeah, this is talking about episodes 1 through 3, also like everything that went into it, right? Like that would be
Right.
my assumption. Yeah.
Yeah, but the season's not done yet. So, like,
Yeah.
more to come and everybody should watch it.
Fair.
Yeah.
You're giving Fox some love here. I like it.
Yeah. Well, you have to, you know?
Yeah.
We got to keep you employed. Okay. The way I was thinking we should do this, we got some great questions from listeners. So I want to just kind of thank them all up front, give them their shout outs, and then we're going to kind of go through it. So people that wrote in that we love, that we want to thank are Denise Zersi Minch, Amanda Barth, Hillary Sticht. I'm going to get shot for pronunciation of these names. Jennifer Finn, Mindy Langwarand. That's a good one. Marie Stankard, Carolyn Shea Rand, Dawn O'Brien. So thank you, all of you. You guys are the real MVPs. And also, you're asking the burn-in questions that I want to know the answers to. So, Kyle, how did this
Diving right
happen?
in.
Yeah.
Diving
Like,
right in.
are you like a lifelong television game show enthusiast? Do you know a guy in the industry? Like, what's happening?
Fair. Good question. I have always loved game shows. Like I like reality shows and reality competition shows. Like Shelby and I binge watch those, like Traders and all those types of shows all the time. The Challenge, I've watched that for like, I don't know, my 33 years on this planet. So I love all those shows, but like also game shows I have watched from like when I was a child. So I would say the TV had sports on 82% of the time in my household growing up. Probably 15% was movies as well, and then like there was 4% where it was game shows. So yeah, I like always watch game shows and all of the OGs. Game Show Network was elite, so I've always been a fan.
Elite.
Never like really thought about ever even applying. Joked about it a couple times, but like never did it. So always been a fan. And then Shelby and I believe we had a flight that was delayed. Is that like true? Because that's what I've ran with for so long, the day I
No,
applied.
now that you're speaking this out loud, this is kind of funny. You know how this came about? The first time you applied to a different game show was because of a Facebook group that I'm in for a podcast.
Yep.
He was like needing people to be on a game show, and I was like, "Oh, I have a guy." But which like full circle moment is that's also how you got your job with Bet Fanatics
Yeah, I
was
know.
this
Your Facebook
same
groups, you
Facebook
got,
group.
yeah, you guys
Um,
have like changed my life indirectly through Shelby in so
Well,
many
and actually,
ways.
even if we're going to take this a step further, that's how Courtney and I met was a Facebook group. So that's hilarious. Um, but it was just like this is a big Facebook group that I'm referring to. It's for the Off the Vine podcast. I don't listen to it anymore, but I'm still in this Facebook group, and it's just like random people were commenting like, I think she must be a like a producer type thing, or I don't think she's actually a producer. Her job was to literally just get the people to then bring to the producers. So you applied for a different game show
Because
first.
Yeah,
this girl like put a post out and said, we're looking for like candidates to apply, basically.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Kyle did that game show. You've actually applied to what? You almost got to one, which was Lateria Loca, which is like didn't work out. You almost made it. You actually did make it, but your passport didn't come in time.
correct.
Long story short.
Yeah.
Then you got to like the probably it seemed like into the finals of Password with
Yeah.
Jimmy
Oh
Fallon, which
yeah.
I would have lost my mind over, but you didn't get there. Then
There
this
was a
one
big break after those two, right? Like those two happened, and then there was like 5 months that went by, and it was like, hey, we should like, I kind of want to apply for some other ones.
and then you applied because you're insane and you don't know how to take time off of work and you took 10 days off from work and we went to Disney and then took a couple days just home and then we went to New York City. But on those couple days home, you were like, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do. I'm going to apply to a game show. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
what?
that sounds right. And I applied for like five during that span. It was ones that had, it was whatever was available, but like the floor has 100 people who get casted, so like a pretty good chance of getting on versus Password where
Smart.
it's two people, right? So it's like you got to be elite. So I did that one. I did Beast Games. I did Squid Games, where it's like those were available, and there was like 500 people who get casted in those, and it's like got a decent chance, I think. And yeah, this one worked out.
I would have died to see you on Beast Games. Also, um, once you had this like I'm gonna call her like she wasn't a producer, but this like connection with this woman. Did she just basically show you like the website? I'm sure people at home are like, I want to be on a game show. How do I apply? Is there now
Yeah.
just like a standard process, or you're in with somebody?
No, that's a great question. There, the people that Shelby had mentioned, there's like a whole bunch of different, I want to call them casting
Like
companies, where
scouts.
their specific job is to find people, vet the first wave basically, go through the whole interview process 2 or 3 times, and then they get their final list of candidates for company A and company B and company C. And then they all go to the show's like producers and say, hey, here's like 500 contestants, I don't know what the number is, that you can now vet and work your list down to like the people who are on, the alternates, and that. So there's like some Instagram pages, can share them with you, and you can link them in the comments if you'd like. Who go through that casting process, and I still see them posting on their stories like, "Hey, we're casting for The Floor season 6 or whatever," and you just click and apply like really, really easily.
Okay. Okay. And do you think you're like on lists somewhere now as like whatever they vibe you as, the sports guy, the funny guy, the whatever, Rhode Island guy?
Maybe, yeah, the Rhode Island guy.
Yeah.
One of the questions on all the applications said, "Have you been on a TV show before?" And I
Got it.
obviously answered no. And I was thinking to myself, like, does that help me or hurt me for future situations? Like, if you're on, you're probably on like some network contract competition thing where, like, if you're on Fox, maybe you can't be on CBS for like a couple of years. I have no idea. But also, like, does that mean, oh, this guy was like good enough for Fox one time? He's probably going to be good enough for us here. I don't know the answer, but like I've wondered basically.
I wonder that too, because you're
Yeah.
basically building like a resume or a
Yeah.
portfolio. And I find recently like a lot of people who are on not just straight up reality TV, but like game shows or things like that, you're seeing them on a lot of different things. They'll do like a home renovation show, and they'll do Love Island, and they'll do Traders. Like it's like a lot. So maybe you're a shoe in now.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I would like to start by, I'm probably on a good hiatus, a good little break here for a couple of years while the kids grow up. Uh, but with that said, the time will come where I get that itch where I'm like, hey, I got to get back out there.
It's such a specific itch. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you really leaned into your it's a really unique mindset you have with like stats and stuff that you've mentioned a couple of times. Number one, like the way you broke down percents about the TV you watched as a child, my brain couldn't do percents that fast. Also, you said something else. Oh, like applying to shows and thinking about like how many people are actually going to get on and like what are my odds here. I don't think normal people's brains work like that. They're like, I want to be on Love Island because I want to wear a bikini. Great. Not like there's only 8 people on the show, so your odds are pretty bad. Like,
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing skill
I
set.
that's like my bread and butter, I would say, and probably why this was, of all the shows I could have gotten on, the worst one, because like all things considered, there's like a little bit of strategy involved where it's mainly trivia and like your general trivia knowledge. And I like behind the scenes was talking strategy of, if this happens and that happens, then I'm going to do this, that, and that. And then like none of those things ever came to fruition. But I talked through like 1,000 different scenarios of like, oh, I can't wait to do this. Like this will make good TV. And then like, oh, I go get, didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
I
So yeah.
have so many questions about that, and I just watched, like, the most recent episode where that guy, like, wipes it like, he basically is a villain, but he, like, it's
Dominated.
winning. Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
um, okay, you get the gig.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're
Wait,
the guy."
can I
Go ahead,
pause?
Phil. Yeah.
Because I just think the way that the audition process is so funny. It just needs to be mentioned real quick because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would listen to Kyle's auditions, like, through a door. He would have to do these Zoom calls like we are right now, but they would ask him these questions. They had specific instructions of, like, the lighting, make sure the background is, like, something that represents you. So, of course, he used, like, the background that you see here is, like, sports and whatnot,
And it's
and
one-on-one?
it would
There was a couple people. It depends on like what round of casting.
Okay.
but so they start and like the first round, I believe, Kyle, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they would ask him all these questions and he had to be like, I mean, he's pretty outgoing and just like upbeat and bubbly all the time, but he had to be like next level, which is easy for him. And they would ask him these questions either, I mean, they would be like about family. They would be like, why do you want to do this? Why, whatever, whatever. And then they would cut this video and that's what they sent out to people. So they made him literally an
Like a
audition tape
real.
to send. It's not that they were just like taking a picture with like fun facts about Kyle and handing them over to like producers. They had audition videos of him, which I would love to see how
Me
they
too.
cut it.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you haven't seen them? Like you don't know what was
No.
sent out?
They were like, that was so good. Can you just like repeat this one sentence? And I was like, yeah. And I would have to do it like, my name's Kyle, in like the actor voice. I would have like a Monster and a Red Bull before to like get
Yes.
myself all jacked up, I'm like doing push-ups right before the thing starts, trying to like get in the right mindset. It was really funny.
And there
But that
was
has
you
to
did
be
something wrong or they wanted sorry. They wanted more from you eventually and they were like, "Can you put that same outfit on and we're going to call you again tomorrow at noon?" Remember
That
that?
was insane. And I think it's the same shirt I was wearing here. And I was like, I can't find the shirt. I think it's in the laundry, and had to do the laundry. But yeah, they made me like get back in the same outfit I wore. I like made a makeshift background and all that. So I had to put it all back together, stacking my phone on boxes to get it the same height. And then, yeah, it was all for like one question that I just had to like, what are you going to do with a $250,000? And I had to like answer it while I'm jacked up again. Meanwhile, I'm like half asleep and taking a break from work. And it was chaotic, but it worked.
that is it's so interesting. And I'm thinking about it also because I've watched like Stephanie film sides or like same thing, like tape for auditions and stuff where they send her the stuff. And in acting, I assume it's basically like reading for a part. Like it's a Goldilocks film, so you want X type of actor. For you, I wonder if that tape gets submitted and they're just using buzzwords about you. Cause like some people in reality TV, it's like, are you going to make terrible, excellent TV because you're an idiot? Is that like running across, like, makes a lot of mistakes? That's like a highlight for like a selling point. Like, will say something stupid on camera.
Yeah.
Definitely put him in. Like, not saying that's you. I'm just saying, like,
And,
what
and
do you
I,
think the tape says?
no, and yeah, I totally hear you on that. And I actually think I was like a filler where like they're like, hey, we have so many, 100 people, 90 of them are these huge personalities. We need someone who's just chill, who's just
Yeah,
like, not, I don't know, because that's how I look at myself. And like, no matter how many energy drinks I have, I could not reach the level of some of these people on the show of like their energy level and like just the whole vibe of them. I could never get to that level. So I view,
But
maybe they casted me as like the dumb guy, but I viewed myself as like just the chill guy,
no, but we also say this about other people when we watch the show who are like so just kind of like down or like you're like very upbeat, okay? Like if you put you and I in a room, you're the one that will go and talk to everybody. I'm the one that's just like no. But there are people who are like me who look like really shy and quiet who get casted and it's just so interesting. I would love to know. I don't know the
That's fair.
reasoning
Yeah,
why. We'll never know that answer, so continuing on.
there's, I feel like there's a lot to unpack there too, and like how you see yourself versus how other people see you. Cause like, I watched you on the show I, of course, like watched your segment, but I watched in particular for you as crowd, like just like on the floor. And you were always doing your Kyleisms that are so specific to you, but like, let's go. And like, just like getting that's you. And if somebody did that impression in a crowd, I would immediately be like, Kyle. So I think that that is actually a
that's
big
really funny.
piece of your personality that like makes good TV. They don't just want to see everybody like, oh, who's up now? Who's gonna get called? Who's da da da? Like you were maybe your
True.
Yeah,
audio didn't get picked up as like those little vignettes, but your energy was so Kyle.
I think that's really nice to hear, like, because I was just trying to be myself, but also the craziest part is during these like casting interviews that I was doing, they made me like, all right, you have to celebrate like you just got picked, and I'm like, let's go, like yelling in the basement with Shelby upstairs. It was so awkward, but pretty funny.
Meanwhile, she was like listening right outside the
Anywho,
door.
Yeah.
yeah.
10 out of 10. Okay, tell me you get cast because they love your video and they call you and like give us timeline. Was it weeks, months, years? Give us travel information, give us um budget. Like, did you pay for everything? Did they pay everything? Go.
Okay. So I found this out later, but it seems like most people who were casted had found out with a couple of months' notice. That was not the case for me. I would say, Shelby, what did I find out? 3 weeks maybe before we were leaving?
I
Maybe
almost want to say,
two?
like, not even, and I also just wanna back up because you auditioned in January and, well, you left at the end of April, so just to put
Yep.
that in. So I would say
And
you probably found out, what, maybe I think it was, like, 2 weeks before.
probably 2 weeks. And we had a family vacation the week of filming too, with my family and Shelby going to Disney. And they haven't been in so long. And it was like, hey, can we like move this a week later or 2 weeks later so that we could like I could go on this game show, which they were willing to do, which is awesome. But 2 weeks notice, find out, move the vacation, end up going. It's filmed in Dublin. I don't know if people knew that. A lot of game shows are filmed there, I guess, which is wild.
Do you know
They
why?
pay for the flight and hotel. I read an article online that says it's cheaper to fly people and house them there than it would be to house them in California
Okay.
because California is really expensive. So that's just one article. I don't know truth to that. They pay for it. They give you a per diem per day. I think I flew out on a Thursday. Friday was like going through the rules and doing makeup run through and stuff like that. And then started filming on Saturday, do like a couple of episodes per day, long, like 16-hour days, which is crazy. And you basically go until you lose. And then once you lose, you get that night and they get you on a flight the following day. So like a decent amount of free time and you meet a lot of people, but like uh it's also pretty like once you're filming, you're in it, like just trying to find sleep where you can get it here and there.
And what you just said once you get cut, you go home. So like some people were there longer than you and some people were there shorter than you.
Yeah. So like, yeah, the people episodes 1 and 2 were day one. All of those people were sent home the following day. Those who make it later, like they were still in Ireland when I was back home, which was like sort of jealous, sort of like I was pretty ready to be home because it was long filming and like super daunting. Like physically, some people couldn't do, you're standing for 16 hours a day. Like some people could not do it and were bowing out, and then they would have like alternates stepping in for them. Uh,
That's
mentally
crazy.
though, like I genuinely think if I got called like one of the first people, like, and they showed me a picture of Shelby, I would be like, pass. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you her name. I was so nervous. Like, can't even put it into words how nervous I was the first few. Like, thought I was gonna
So
throw up on national TV and they would like show it.
I mean it would make good TV.
They would
But
definitely show it.
so you're yeah, I had a question about that because I think this is like a universal theme people share. When I'm sitting at home watching Jeopardy, I get every question right. Like I'm always like, I
Yeah,
think it's the equivalent of when people watch sports. I'm like, you're dumb.
yeah,
This is obvious. Why did you stutter? How do you forget to say what is? Like all the things. You
yeah.
kind of you're saying it's like very different in the real environment.
I was one of those people. Like I asked Shelby whenever we're watching TV, I'm like, why wouldn't they do this? Why would they do
Yeah.
that? And then I get up there and I, for the first time when I played, like completely blacked out. Like I thought I got friends as my first question, and I was like, friends. And then watching it back, it wasn't that in that capacity. I said a lot of ums for sure, which like that was just an out of body experience.
Yep.
When I came home, I like told them I got this one, listing all the shows that I got and what the other person got. I forgot like half of them, just genuinely blacked out. And yeah, it was like I was looking down at myself answering those questions. Like it was not me there. My body and my mouth were just moving, but like there was no one up top pulling the strings.
Your Inside Out cast was absent that day. You were just like
That was it. That was 100% it. They had like Goofy pulling the sticks. He was running the command board for me.
okay, so
Okay,
run us. Go ahead.
go ahead. You were gonna go there.
I just want to know, like, run us through. You basically get on a flight to Ireland. You
Yep.
land. That somebody takes you to a hotel. You
Yep.
have like an indeterminate amount of clothes because you don't know if you're going to be there for 1 day or 100 days. You have no
Yes.
return flight. You are on your own in a foreign land. So, like, yeah, you could go out and like get dinner, but also, like, are you, I don't know, whatever. So, the next morning, presumably, like, you get up, there's breakfast, and you go to set. Walk us through the day, like day one.
Okay, so day one of filming,
Yeah.
or just day one of like arriving of
Day one
filming?
of filming. Yeah.
Yeah, so day one, I believe it starts at 5:30. We all meet in the lobby at 5:30. So like I think I wake up at 4:30 panicking I'm gonna oversleep. Probably slept like 2 hours, genuinely, because it just and everyone was in the same boat. Get breakfast at the hotel, and then the bus leaves at 5:30. We get to the studio at like 6. And since
Wait,
it's day one, they do like yeah,
are you okay? I just like can't the nuanced pieces of this I can't get over. So you're like in a hotel lobby and there are 100 contestants. Are you the only guest at the hotel? Do you have an identifier on so you know like these are my people?
nothing. And I thought we were the only guests, and we're not. There was other people there. But like you could tell who was a contestant because like everyone's studying the different categories. At this time, we had the list of 100 categories, but you don't know which one, you do know which one's yours once we were in Ireland. So you had the opportunity to study your own, but you don't know the floorboard until you actually like about a half hour before we actually start. That is the most important thing because like I could be studying all these categories that are so far from me on the floor that it's like, well, I wasted all that time because I'm never going to play that. So uh yeah, like you could get an idea of who was who, and a lot of people went out and got into little groups. I found one dude, his name's Jez. He was my absolute boy, and like we hung out from beginning to end, like from the day, moment we landed until I got bounced. And him and I still talk, so he's a good dude. So a lot of people that went into bigger groups. I was like a 1 man, 2 man wolf pack of like a lot of people say they have these alliances. Me and him genuinely had like one of those alliances that would have stuck.
Do
Um,
you come up with
so
strategy
yes.
together?
So we were very different in the sense of I am like studying to memorize stuff that I don't know. He from the vibe I got, as well as like he kind of proved it via studying, like he was just genuinely a good trivia guy where he's like, dude, why are you doing all this studying and why are you stressing over this? And then I'm over here like cramming on these flashcards and different apps. So like we were just two different strategies that wanted to see each other succeed, which is
That's
really funny. So, and we
bromances
were
are the
too far
best.
on the floor to, that was it. We were too far to like really make a plan. Like if we both made it to the finale, then we could have started talking. But like it just wasn't in the cards from where we were.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Um,
And yeah, I derailed
so
you.
yeah, Phil,
So go
it's
ahead.
fine. So like day of filming, it's a lot of downtime. You get to the studio, you get into these tables of 10. They go through instructions and rules, and if this happens or you have to go to the bathroom or whatever, this is what you do. Um, you they call you in to do makeup and get your suits on. You have to wear a poncho once you're all dressed up and you're eating like lunch and breakfast because if you get stuff on it, you're screwed, which is funny. They take you across the street to the actual studio and do like a walkthrough with you so that you get to see the floor and what the experience is going to be like. And then they take you back, and after like 6 hours, we finally do episode one. We have to do the walkout. You know, when you walk out and like everyone comes through the tunnel, probably 25 times of like you walking out like, yeah, let's go. Like 25 times back and forth. It was like, surely we have enough footage, is what was going through my mind. Um, And then yeah, like so much downtime in that 16 hours. Probably filmed 2 episodes in that day, totaling 3.5, 4 hours, but like 12 hours of downtime and standing on the floor and doing makeup and that type of stuff. So it's a long, long day.
That is wild. And like
Yeah.
from as
Yeah.
the person who edits the podcast, I get very stressed out if there's something I need to edit because I know like we talked so long that I have no idea like at what point we talked about what to like fix it or whatever. And so imagining sitting down with just like 6 hours of clapping through a tunnel sounds like my personal hell. That's just me.
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy. And they had like drone footage and all the different things that like crazy.
wait, drone footage in the building?
Yeah, so like there was drones like flying by the different aisles and trying to get like the footage that they need, and like it took so long,
That
honestly.
is
But
unbelievable. Do you
yeah,
think that's because
you just
it's
have to
like
stand there with like a smile.
do you think it's because people are like all of you are unexperienced in television, so they just like you're not you look dead in the face? I don't know, like whatever they need to do it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think it's like they know that once people leave, there's no getting that footage back. So like
Fair.
before you start episode one, and you need like the full pictures of the floor. If someone's like sneezing in that picture and they don't want to use it,
Yeah.
they want to make sure they have like the good footage when everyone's still there. But my season had like a decent amount of people who had experience, like two people from Survivor,
Yeah.
uh, Bo Bice, the singer, a lady who won a cooking competition, like America's Top Chef, was right next to me. So they had some people with experience, but a lot of people did not, like myself.
Well, keeps it interesting to have a little bit of
Yeah,
everything.
you learn.
Um, Tell
Yeah.
me also about speaking of the television, like the literal production part of it. Shelby was kind of telling me there were parts that you had to film out of order or like maybe not knowing the outcome or something yet. Like, tell us about that.
Out of order. What do you mean by that, Shelby?
Like,
Like if someone were
I
to
think,
Well, you
I think,
you filmed
yeah,
you they didn't share any of it, but that you filmed interviews after
Oh yeah,
your
yeah,
divorce.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The interviews are after you catch the L, at least for me. Um, so like they didn't use any of it, but like I imagine this is every show. Uh Kyle, like I lose, right? My duel. They like rush me to this back room and sit me, and I cut the whole line of people waiting, and I'm in front of this camera, and they're like, Kyle, you're playing for $20,000. Tell us why you're like not gonna lose. And I'm like, I just lost. And they're like, I know, but we might use this for like the footage. And I'm like, no one's beaten me at any TV shows. And you
stop
have to
it.
like put on this whole face. And yeah, it was so funny.
Speaking s-
Uh,
speaking of that, we jumped over that. Your
Yeah.
expert category.
Yeah.
yeah.
You already
Expert
told us
category.
the percentage that you would watch TV at home was 82% sports, and you got
Yeah.
Emmy-winning TV shows.
Yeah. Crazy. Honestly, crazy. So yeah, you get to request like some categories that you would like beforehand. And so I forget exactly like college mascots, 350 college basketball teams. I'm like, I would love that. Um, I think I did like Heisman Trophy winners and
No,
another sports thing.
you did not.
What?
You did
Yeah.
What were the three?
Get them.
college mascots,
Yeah.
gambling,
Gambling. Yes. Perfect.
and then this weirdo does
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
OG
Oh,
Pokemon. I know them all. That would have been great. But someone had said they already used Pokemon as a category, so they wouldn't do it.
smart.
So I didn't know that. And then gambling, they give you the list of the 100 categories, and you don't know which one is yours. One of them is playing cards, and I'm like, well, I'm a shoe-in. That's my category. Let's go. And then it turns out no. And I get mine, Emmy winning shows, and I go up to the casting person who casted me, like, hey, I think there was a mistake. Like, there's no relation between me and shows. And she was like, no, that's the case for like everyone. She's like, 50 people have come up to me asking me that. And I was like, oh, so that's how it goes. It's not exactly like in my mind, they probably have the 100 categories predetermined, like
Yep.
during casting, and then they're trying to find people to fit those molds in any way they can. Um, so when I say I was like a fill-in, I kind of think I was. If like, all right, we need someone from here to do Emmy shows, like this guy could do it, because I don't know where I come in with Emmy shows.
That is, yeah. Like,
And then
absolutely gotta
on the
F
same
your brain
topic
up.
of
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the same topic of being a fill-in, this season was all about the states, and they wanted 2 people from each state. So at the last minute, they asked, we're from New Hampshire. Kyle's born and raised in New Hampshire, and they asked him to represent Rhode Island because that's where he went to college. So
Yeah.
not to
Kyle
confuse
from Rhode
anybody.
Island.
I I noticed just because I knew some of these things before I watched it, it was so interesting to hear. Like, I knew your story, but I was like, I'm applying that to other people because they would show clips of people like, oh, you're a home organization expert. How did that come to be? And whatever answer they gave, I was probably like, that person probably has like the messiest house, knows nothing about this, but just like that's their assigned category. So they had to be like, yeah.
I think that's the vibe. My buddy Jez is not from, like, on the show. He's from Kansas, and his category is swamplands, and there are no swamps in Kansas. So like, what are we doing with that correlation there? Which
Also,
I
how
think
is
is
that a
really funny.
category?
But
Yeah,
we're
it's an
gonna find
interesting
out.
one. Yeah, they
But
haven't played it yet. I'm excited to see it.
it sounds like some people used this as their strategy, and they got categories that they knew nothing about, and they would like tell fellow contestants like a story to make it seem like that was their expert category for whatever reason. Like they
Smart.
had a story, like yeah.
That's the gameplay, right? That's where the strategy comes in of like how much do you want to do that? And uh I was pretty open with everyone about mine, which I think was like also a strategy of um like, yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I have a great memory. And this is a finite list of things. It's not like mammals where there's a million of them. Like there's 70 for comedy and drama, and they're probably not going to do the ones from like the 50s and 40s. So outside of like I Love Lucy. So I just tried to like almost show I knew them by like the way I was studying and things like that for the people that were around me.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I had
I,
I had a good strategy for like I knew what I was going to do if the randomizer came to me.
well, that's
Like
what I
I
want
was
to
so
know.
dialed in of I'm gonna go here, there, and there. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us
Uh
like the full strategy.
I had New England to my left, ghost stories to my right, and then sportscasters right above him. No one wanted to play sportscasters. That was like I almost wanted to figure out a way to get the category steal and steal sportscasters. So I was gonna play New England, a fellow New Englander, good dude Zach. He's from Maine. Hopefully beat him. Then Ghost Stories was a girl from Louisiana, also a good person, but like I love horror movies and shows, and I felt really confident in that. And then if I had won 2 in a row, I would have been in a tough decision of like, do I play theme parks against the girl who ended up beating me, and then steal sportscasters so I can sit on a category I feel like no one will play and no one genuinely wouldn't lose? Or do I just beat sportscasters and steal like playing cards, for instance, and then win 3 in a row and feel good? Uh, that would have been my strategy is try to win three, get sportscasters. And I genuinely think I could have sat until the end because everyone was petrified of sportscasters.
It's so interesting to me how some of the categories are so niche and some of them are literally like mammals. Like everybody studied mammals in
Yeah.
school to some extent, but like sportscasters is for me, I would not know a single one. Um,
You know
tell
what's
me also.
interesting? It seems like the generic categories. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say it seems like the generic categories are the hardest. And the ones that are really niche, like Brat Pack or uh, real estate, that maybe sound intimidating, are so easy. Junkyard. When I saw Junkyard, I'm like, that was the easiest thing I've ever seen. And meanwhile, I was like, I'm never playing Junkyard. I don't know anything.
Well,
So
but you
I don't
don't
know. It's almost like deceiving by,
you don't know what they're gonna pick. Like, junkyard could be, um,
yeah,
equipment that they use in a junkyard to crush I don't know anything about junkyards, cars, or, like, it could be things you find
yeah,
in a junkyard, employee positions at a junkyard, like, I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
I think
another
that's the strategy and the kicker.
another thing I wanna know from you is your strategy from a social engineering perspective. For example, did people know you were, like, very into sports in your real life, or were you like, "I stay at home all day and do lawn care," and, like, play that down so people try to challenge you and you can win?
I was very vocal about the sports, and like I was very envious of there's a US stadiums for sports, and there's a sportscasters, and there's a Hall of Famer, and I was like, if I'm being genuinely honest, I can't see a world that I'm not in the top 3 people of this 100-person list in terms of sports, like fandom or anything. So I was pretty disappointed, and that was well known that like I wish I got one of those. Um, the people around me, we were pretty honest with each other. Like the girl who beats me, Ashley, had said, I wanted Emmy shows as my category. So in right when she told me that, I was like, I don't really want to play you in this because that's like are open about it. I was pretty open that I was going to play New England first and Ghost Story second, and I didn't know what I was going to do on the third in that moment. So there was not like a whole lot of social strategy from my perspective going on. Had we made it further, there would have been, but like it was pretty open of like, hey, if it comes to me, I'm choosing you. And like all of us around us kind of had a good idea of who that person was going to pick if they got randomized.
I think that's so interesting, especially now that I've seen the guy I mentioned earlier who, like, everybody was, like, universally shocked. He went for, like, his best buddy that was like, "He promised he would never pick me." And I think that's shitty
Crazy.
behavior, but genius gameplay because I would have never studied, like, to play that guy, assuming he was telling the truth.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. At the end of the episode, the girl who beat me, Ashley, Aaron had also played her, and she was pretty caught off guard because he had said like, "I will never play you. I will never play you." But like when you have the biggest piece of territory, you're gonna get played no matter what. Like you, in my mind, the reason that I didn't really lose sleep in the way that I lost is that when that piece of land is that big, you probably have to win. You win 20,000, which is great. I would say you're probably gonna have to win another 40 duels in order to win the whole thing. Which, like, that's just my guess. Like, thinking logically, you're gonna get challenged left and right on everything. So, yeah, I think like having the opportunity to win 20K was really cool, and I wish I did it. But I almost think the
Yep.
ceiling and the maximum amount of money I could have won would have been 40,000 of like try to survive one more episode. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. But like when you get one mass land like that, everyone's touching it and everyone wants to become like king of the mountain at that point, king of the hill.
I really my takeaway here is maybe that, like, if you don't feel like you wanna do this again for a while, you should just be a coach for people who are gonna go on because there's so much honestly, there's so much strategy from, like, who you're talking to in the breakfast room or whatever, what strategy you're gonna say out loud versus what you do, what assigned categories like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of you got a lot of knowledge in there that I didn't know 40 minutes ago. So if I was going on a
I
show, it would
think
be
that's like
valuable to talk to
that
you.
was the part, yeah. That was the part that when I lost, I missed the most was like I was so engulfed by the strategic decisions by everyone around, and like I was just living vicariously through other people's decisions, and like ooh, I don't think that was a great one. And I think one thing that the show did not do a great job of in the way I lost was Ashley had won 2 in a row, and she had NASCAR. So if she wins 3 in a row, she can get rid of NASCAR. She had the choice of playing Emmy shows to win 3 in a row, get rid of NASCAR, and probably try to survive a lot longer. Or go back to the floor, and there was, I think, 6 pieces of land that was touching her that hadn't already been played. So if there's, I think, 81 other pieces that are available on the randomizer, and 75 of them would have guaranteed her 20,000. 6 of them she would have had to play NASCAR.
I know.
So like she had realistically an 80% chance of, like, maybe more, of guaranteeing herself $20,000 or risking it to keep herself in the game. Like, it was a really strategic decision that, like, did not get highlighted. And I had talked to her after, and she was like, "I kind of forgot I even had the choice." Like, Rob Lowe was kind of like pushing me to keep going, which I think is really funny in hindsight.
Well, that's what you said. Like when you're on the spot, your brain goes blank. But I think you
Yeah,
just basically
I cannot
sold
blame her.
you sold 100% my argument here that like you should be a strategy coach because I didn't understand anything you just said. Like it's 80% if it's raining
Um,
and her category is NASCAR, but if it's a Tuesday and the guy next to her is wearing a sombrero, then like you should definitely pick flowers. It's too much for me.
I
I love
love
it.
where your head's at, and if you Shelby can validate that I have tried to start a business called Kyle's Common Sense Contractors, where uh, it's mainly for NFL coaches, of like when they're making really, really bad decisions, and I'm yelling at my TV like, the NFL's a multi-billion-dollar industry, trillion-dollar industry, and like they're making the simplest mistakes that could cost them like hundreds of millions by winning or losing that game. And Kyle's Common Sense Contracting would partner with the
Oh
NFL and
my
help some of
God.
these coaches on these decisions. So we're trying to get it off the ground soon, but I do think maybe there's a case to be made on some of these game shows too, that it could be useful for some contestants.
I think it's
I
a daily
cannot.
and a dollar short, but Penn State kind of used you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, James Franklin. James Franklin, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
he needs more than just some common sense, I think.
I'm just saying. We're Shelby and I will put our business minds together and help you launch this business. I know you have to go, but do you have any like
Thank you.
final takeaways of the show?
Yeah, awesome experience. Super grateful. Met a lot of great people. I'm in a fantasy league with 12 people now, and it's a lot of fun. So no regrets. The result wasn't what I wanted, but like still, I'm really glad had the opportunity. Check it off the bucket list. And I think for anyone listening, you're probably like me and like super intrigued in how it all worked. And uh I think it almost felt unrealistic at first to like ever get on a game show, but I've applied for like 8 of them, and I'm like, I would like to think as normal of a person as you can be, and I've made it through multiple rounds of casting interviews in like 3 of them. So I would say just take the chance and apply, and the worst thing that can happen is you waste that half hour of your life applying, but I think it's more realistic than people think to get on there. So I would say shoot your shot and just fire away.
I love that. I think that should be our new
Agreed.
name of our podcast, Shoot Your Shot. Um, Kyle, you've already said that you're willing to do this, but um, if we want to bring you back on to talk about this some more because people have more questions, are you down?
Would be my pleasure. Yeah, 100%.
Amazing.
Oh my
I
god.
love talking
Amazing.
about it. Honestly, Shelby gave me the green light going golfing here, which is why I
Yeah,
have to
go.
leave. But I like would love to stay and talk. No, I would love to stay and talk about it more. Like I feel like
You want to cancel?
I don't know. I could spend multiple episodes just talking about it.
Uh, People are
And
gonna have
no,
some
I
questions.
don't. But
So
thank you. Yeah.
have the
All
best
right, bye,
time
Kyle.
golfing. I
Alrighty. Well,
wanna yeah. We're gonna ask Shelby a couple more questions and then we'll catch up with you. Have fun golfing.
goodbye. It was a pleasure, and thank you everyone for the questions. Y'all the real MVPs.
They really
Oh
are.
my god.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, we're still in it. I just want to wrap this up by saying Kyle is the best. I think he is a study in human behavior because he's just such a funny, fun-loving guy and like doesn't know that about himself, which is great.
He really doesn't. After just listening to him like say that he was just some normal, he's still standing here right now. He's like waiting for me to compliment him. Just kidding, he left. Um that he just thinks he's just, like, chill. Like, he is I mean, he is chill. He's very, like, go with the flow, compared to me, but
Yes.
he is just so much more, like, outgoing and just not loud, but loud, and I don't know. He's I
Yeah.
will say what Taylor Swift says about Travis Kelce. He is like a human exclamation point. He really is, and, like, because anytime he's, I always if he's, like, tired or he's, like, really mellow, I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong?" He's like, "I'm nothing's wrong, I'm just tired. Sometimes I can't be just bubbly all the time." Like, "Well, fix it because you're bringing me down." But, yeah, he really is just kind of that's just who he is. I don't know. And he's
Yeah.
back.
He has good vibes. He can hear me say this. Um, I think he gets confused between, being like I think he's an everyman in that, like, he could be in a room with any person and talk to them. I don't think he's, like, elitist or, um, w singularly disciplined or something like that. But I think despite him being relatable to all people or whatever, he's very uniquely exclamatory or whatever. I don't know, just, like, interesting and a unique person. He's
Right.
not, like, just, like, a run-of-the-mill dude. He's, like, very dude I don't know, it's Travis Kelce golden retriever energy, and we love to see it.
Very much so. Very much so. I'll keep him around.
Yeah, I guess you can keep him
Um,
around, it's fine.
was there I what didn't live the process of the game show, but if we missed a couple of questions, I'd be happy to answer what I know since he did have to run off to his tea time, but I think we got to almost
Yeah,
all of them if I
I
remember correctly.
I think we got to most of them. I also have to run for a call, but I wanted to ask you, the theme park girl that he interacted with, I'm getting the vibe now that, like, maybe she wasn't really a theme park girl, but my initial question was like, are you gonna collab with her? Because, like, that's a social media moment right there.
I don't think she actually was.
Yeah, she was like a faker.
Yeah, but Kyle saw theme parks next to him and he was like, "Pff, I got this in the bag. I am DVC. I am an annual pass holder. Like, this is me." And if you watched the show and
Guy.
when she played it, it was like popcorn, Ferris wheel.
Yeah, like corn dogs.
Did not
Yeah.
show true elite theme parks.
Yeah. He has the depth of field too, because he's even been to whatever that really scary pretend Disneyland is up by you.
Yeah, so he knows theme parks high and low. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He knows them all. So,
But that's
no,
kind
I'm
of what
so
he
glad we
was
got to talk to
that
him.
sorry. That's what he was saying of like some like he didn't know how to study theme parks because like is he studying like Epcot, Hollywood Studios, yada yada, or but it ended up being like popcorn, whatever. Like some of them were so easy. So that's what he was meaning by that of like, what do you study,
Totally.
anyways?
No, I totally agree. And I see what you're saying because he said, like, if it's sportscasters or whatever, that there's not, like, a lot of ambiguity there. You're literally just naming people's names. It couldn't be anything else. So, like,
Right,
ultimately, that is easier to study.
right.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I think we should let the people listen, and then, I'm sure if they have more questions, they'll write them in the group, and if we need to have him on again, he said he would do it. I mean, he said he might be interested maybe in coming on again. So, you know.
Yes, great idea. He would love to be a permanent guest. Let's be real, but yes, he'll definitely come on. So if you have more questions, um, ask away, and we will get to them. And if he can't, I obviously know a little bit about part of his experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, we got like a nice overview, but yeah, there were even things I wanted to still know. So perhaps a follow-up. We'll see. But thank you for being here.
Great.
And thanks to Kyle for being here.
Yeah, and I hope he shoots low, but not really.
I don't even know what that means, but yes, I hope he shoots low. I thought we wanted the ball to go high in the air to go far, but maybe it's a putting day.
Um, I'm talking about the score. You want a low score.
Oh, I just learned that because we started playing Mario Golf. So now I understand. Okay.
Oh my god, we play Mario Golf.
Do you play it on the Switch?
Yeah.
We should play together. That would be fun.
Great. Okay. Alrighty. We
Great.
will
Okay, I gotta run.
we'll chat next week.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye.